What is up, everyone? Barricade here, and I'm bringing you guys a quick Dragon Ball Super video. I almost said Gears of War. I wanted to talk about something that's been kind of like on my mind lately when it comes to Dragon Ball Super, and that is obviously the identity of Black. People have been talking, going theories and theories this, theories that, and I even made a video where I kind of talked about how I thought he would be basically like a new god of destruction or something like that. But I've been thinking about it more lately, and I've been seeing just a lot of things, like ideas and stuff from the newest episode, from episode 50, just things that happen in it that kind of changed my theory. And I actually, while it's not like an original theory, because I've seen a lot of people say this, I actually want to throw my own piece of information into it that people may have not have thought yet. So pretty much what the theory itself is that, obviously Black is not Goku. He's basically someone that stole Goku's body after either, what the major theory is that he died in the future timeline, from the heart virus, and then whoever Black is stole the body, and that's who he is. He's basically someone that stole Goku's body after he died from the heart virus. And while that alone isn't too much of an original theory, I've seen that one kind of been floating around. There's one thing I really wanted to talk about that kind of expands on that theory, and I really wanted to discuss it. And if you're wondering why I'm not showing gameplay right now, it's because I really wanted to just, kind of just show something different. I always show Dragon Ball gameplays, Universe gameplay, and I just wanted to do this. It's just easier. It's just a lot easier for me. But basically what the thing that expands on the theory is, well, first of all, the theory is that, once again, that Black stole Goku's body after he died from the heart virus. The things that kind of point to that is, if you notice during the newest episode, Goku hits him like in the chest and the stomach a few times, and then he starts holding his chest like he's in pain. And then after he goes back to the future, he falls down, lands on the ground, and the whole time he's like laying there like this, holding his chest because he's in pain or whatever, because he just fought Goku. The thing that makes me think that is, obviously, even after he stole the body, the virus still probably ails him sometimes and causes him to feel pain when he takes damage. And then the other thing that pretty much with my theory that kind of expands on it and kind of solidifies it in a way is, if you notice, after Goku's death in our timeline, after he died from saving the world from Cell, using instant transmission, saving the world, sending him to King Kai's planet, and then the planet blew up, and then he helped Gohan do the Kamehameha and all that. The thing is, after he died, like almost immediately, like not even 20 minutes later, he immediately contacts Gohan and tells him, hey, you can't give up. You gotta pull in your strength. You gotta do Kamehameha. You gotta save the world, whatever. But the thing is, if you notice, after he died in the future timeline, there is no indication of him ever doing that. Never trying to contact Future Gohan. Never trying to contact Future Trunks, giving them advice, trying to find them a way to save the world, and there's no reason to why he wouldn't. There's no reason why he wouldn't do that. If you saw Gohan struggling against these androids for over 10 years, he would have obviously thought, okay, what was the first thing he thought of, basically? This is the one thing I want to say real quick. What was the first thing he thought of once he healed himself from the virus? The first thing he thought of was, I gotta find a level higher than that of a Super Saiyan. That was the first thing he thought of instantly after he healed himself from the heart virus. I said that word, heart virus. But anyways, that was the first thing he knew. He wasn't strong enough, he had to train, and that was the only way they were going to beat the androids. So if he saw Gohan fighting the androids for over 10 years and thought, realized, okay, my son isn't strong enough even as a Super Saiyan, he needs to get stronger. I'm going to tell him he needs to find a level beyond a Super Saiyan and beat these androids. That's what he would have done, but for some reason he didn't. So that was the thing that always kind of made me wonder, like, why didn't Goku ever try to contact them? He could easily have told them of the hyperbolic time chamber. He knew about it before his death, so he could have easily told them what it was, how to get stronger, how to beat the androids. But for some reason, Gohan was stuck alone fighting the androids for over 10 years, died, and left poor Trunks to fight them by himself. And that never really made any sense to me. And I always thought that was a little bit of a contradiction to Goku's character, because every time after he died, he always used King Kai as a way to talk to his friends and help them out. He helped Gohan that way. After his death, he made sure to let them know to not revive him after a year in the Saiyan Saga. After his death with Raditz and everything, he immediately told them, not too long afterwards, do not revive me until after a year, so I can train, so I can get stronger. With the future time, with Cell, he immediately helped Gohan and motivated him. but for some reason in this alternate timeline he just let Gohan and Trunks suffer for over 10 years. That doesn't make any sense. So what my theory is, what my thing that expands upon this theory about, you know, after his death and then Black's taking his body, is the fact that if you really sit there and think about it, the one thing that could have happened is after his death, Black stole his body, like not too long after his death. And the thing is, after you die in the Dragon Ball universe, if you're someone like Goku who's allowed to take their body, they take their body for you. They don't give you a new body in the other world. Kami actually took Goku's body and helped him take it straight to Otherworld, and then he used it on his training with King Kai. It was the same body he was in after he died by getting a special beam cannon to his chest. You know, Kami healed it or whatever, and then took it with him to the Otherworld. So you don't get another body. You don't get a second reproduced body or something like that. You use the same one you had when you died. I know it sounds a little weird seeing as Goku was blown to bits after his fight with Cell, but I mean, they could have easily just regenerated that same body and helped him use it. That's something that can easily just be done. But if you notice, if they took his body, let's say after his death with the heart virus, Black took his body, then Goku had nothing to be in, and he would simply just be a white puff of smoke, the little white puff of smoke, excuse me, white puff of smoke that, you know, you become when you're a normal person that dies. So that would make sense. And once he's that little white puff of smoke, he can't do nothing. He's useless at that point. He might not even have his memories, because they state that when you're that white puff of smoke, you lose your memories and you don't have them anymore. You basically become an entity that's a spirit, and that's it. You don't remember who you were, you don't remember anything, and you're just basically useless. So at that point, that's probably what happened to him. You know, Black probably stole his body, he reverted back to the little white puff of smoke, and then he never helped Future Trunks and Future Gohan, and that would explain why he never helped them to begin with, because after Black stole his body, he was basically useless and couldn't help them at all, and probably didn't remember who he was anymore. So that was just the one thing that came across to my mind, because I never thought it made any sense that he would just, you know, not help Future Trunks, Future Gohan after his death, when he's been the type of person that would do that every time he died. And the fact that maybe, I know back in the, you know, before the series was even made, it probably was just a contradiction. They never explained it. It's just like, whatever, Kira probably didn't give a shit. But after this new saga, they could probably easily use that as a reason, something to blame as to why Goku never did that. You know, maybe after his death, Black stole his body, he never helped him out. And then the other thing that can also be a possibility is maybe Black didn't steal his body like right away. Maybe they never really explain how, like, if you die by a natural cause, like if you die from like a heart virus, they never said if your body went with you. So there's a good chance that maybe after his death from the heart virus, his body just simply didn't go with him, and he just went to Otherworld as a white puff of smoke, died, they buried his body or whatever, and then later on, Black, whoever he is, was probably weak, needed a strong body, and people theorize that he's that Supreme Kai, so that would make sense. You know, maybe he's one of that green Supreme Kai, and he needed a really strong body for some reason. If you see in the intro of the video, you see him like falling back like if he's dying or something. So maybe he is the evil Supreme Kai that needed a strong body, and as a Supreme Kai, he's all-knowing and he can look for anyone in the universe. And at that time, Goku was the strongest person in the universe because he defeated Frieza. No one else was as strong as Frieza as him at that time. So what was the first body he can steal? Goku's, after he died from the heart virus. So that's the one thing I really wanted to talk about and kind of give a little bit of an insight on, because it makes sense. You know what I mean? Goku either got his body stolen after his death, or after he died from the heart virus, his body simply just relinquished his spirit. He went to the other world as a white puff of smoke, forgot who he was, never helped Future Trunks or Future Gohan, and Black simply stole his body when he knew that he was the strongest person in the universe, and that defeated Frieza. So that's my personal theory. And it makes sense. You know, this guy even said, I always wanted to fight you in this body. That's not something Goku would say. Goku wouldn't say, I want to fight myself in my own body. That doesn't make any sense at all. So this person is someone else that stole Goku's body. That's my personal idea. But anyways, guys, if you guys like this video, please definitely hit that like button, subscribe, and tell me what you guys think about my theory. Basically, long story short, I think that after his death, pretty much Black stole his body. Either stole it right away, or after he died from the heart virus, he just went to Otherworld as a spirit, and then Black simply stole his body by finding out that he was the strongest person in the universe after defeating Frieza. and that's who Black is. He's either this evil Supreme Kai or someone else. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Take it easy.
Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see my most recent Gears of War video, hit that link on the left. If you want to see my most recent Dragon Ball video, hit that link on the right. Thanks for watching, guys.